Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Erica and I'm so glad that you are here for today's tutorial because today I'm going to be showing you guys the top 3 easiest bows that you can make. I use these not only for my gift wrap because Christmas is around the corner, but I also use these for all my door signs, my wreaths, and much more. So if you're ready to learn how to do the 3 easiest bows, then keep watching. So for these bows, you're going to need whatever ribbon you're wanting to work with. I like thick wired ribbon, a good pair of scissors, and some 4-inch zip ties. Now, normally I get the clear or white ones, but the store was all out of them, so I had to get these assorted color pack, but it's fine because you can't really see them once the bow is all completed anyway. Then you're also going to need a hot glue gun with some glue sticks. So I've cut a piece of my thick wired ribbon off of my spool here. This ribbon is 2.5 inches wide and I have cut it into 2.5 feet. Now what I'm going to do is take my 2 ends there and I'm just going to create an X. I'm just crossing one over the other and you'll have like this flat piece on top. It almost looks like a pretzel or something, but it's just easier for me to say cross it over and make an X. Then I'm going to set that piece aside and I've cut another piece of ribbon. This one is 2 inches wide, not 2.5, and I cut this one just slightly shorter than my other one. So it's just slightly shorter than 2.5 feet, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to make an X and cross it over, make a little pretzel. But now we are going to kind of cinch it together in the middle there and pinch it all together like so. And then I'm just going to do the exact same thing with that original ribbon that's a little bit longer, cinching it in the middle, pinching it between my thumb and pointer finger, and I'm just overlapping these 2 bows, and we are creating one big bow. And now I'm going to take my little 4-inch zip tie, and I'm just going to zip tie it in the back. Now before I tighten it, what I like to do is set my bow face down and kind of center it up there so it doesn't get all uneven and messed up before I tighten it all the way. Okay, and then once you have your zip tie super tight where your bow is not going to come undone or anything, then we can trim that little tail off the zip tie. So I'm just going to cut that off with my scissors. And now I'm going to show you guys how I cut my little bow tails. So if you want a classic bow tail, like I've done on that one piece down there, you're going to take your ribbon and fold it in half, and you're going to cut it at a 45-degree angle so that when you unfold it, it's a perfect little tail. It's even on both sides, pointed and centered perfectly. This is just the easiest way that I have found to do these little tails, so I always do it this way. But you could certainly trim your tails however you want to, if you want them to be flat or slanted, or if you like the classic look like I do, then you can do it this way. Okay, and then we're just gonna fluff up our little bow here. And now to finish it, we just need to cover up that zip tie. So I've cut about a 3.5 inch length here, and I'm just going to fold it because it's obviously too thick for that center. So just to make it a cute little center, I'm folding it like so. And then I already have my hot glue gun heated up over here. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on the center of that ribbon, on the back of it, and we are going to press that down right over the zip tie and fold it over the back. Now be careful because hot glue does kind of seep through the fabric sometimes. I'm going to add a little bit more on top of that zip tie, and then I'm going to fold one piece of that over. I'm just going to use my scissors so I don't burn my fingers here. And then I'm going to fold over that other end right on top and hold it down for just a second for that hot glue to dry and cool. And voila, we have our first bow. So now I'm just going to kind of fluff up those loops there and center up the tails, but then that is it. I absolutely love this bow. It's one of my absolute favorite bows to do. I use this the most like with my door signs and wreaths, but I've also used this for gift wrapping And my favorite part about this is you can make it as big or as little as you want to, and you could keep layering it and make it fluffier using different pattern ribbons, kind of like I've done here with the 2 ribbons, but you could certainly add more if you wanted to do a bigger, better bow. All right, guys, so for the second bow I like to use this one the most with my gift wrapping, but I have used it on door signs and wreaths as well. But this one is super easy because we work right off of the spool. But we basically start by curling it under itself at the very end there. And we are going to pinch that between our thumb and our pointer finger. Just like that, curling it under, and then I'm going to kind of cinch it together and pinch it between my thumb and pointer finger. Make sure you have a good hold on that because you're going to be holding this the entire time we're basically doing the ribbon until we are ready to attach our zip tie. You also want to make sure that you leave a little bit past your thumb so that you make sure that it gets in the zip tie. Otherwise, it will unravel if you don't have enough through it. So have a little bit past your thumb, pinch it pretty well, and then we are just going to make some loops and continuously adding it to that pinched original loop. Now, I definitely recommend doing this with ribbon that has a pattern on both the front and the back of the ribbon, but you can certainly use a ribbon that only has a pattern on one side. You'll just have to twist the ribbon in the back as you pinch it. I don't have to do that because this ribbon has the pattern on both sides. So I'm just making a loop and then I'm pinching it between my thumb and pointer finger, just adding it to that cluster that I was already pinching. So I'm just going back and forth, pinching it between those fingers, just adding it to the cluster. Now you can make this as big and fluffy as you want. I like to have at least 4 loops on both sides. So 9 loops total with your little center there. And then I'm going to make 1 giant loop and I'm going to pinch that into my cluster that I already have. And you guys will see why in just a second. So now we have a total of 10 loops total pinched between our fingers. So now I'm going to attach my zip tie all over those loops and I'm going to do it super tight so that none of that comes unraveled. And then I'm just going to cut the excess off just like the last one. And then I'm going to cut just about like 1/2 inch right past that zip tie there so that it doesn't go through again. But we're just going to cut off that excess to detach it from the spool. So now we have our giant bow here with the giant loop on the bottom. And that giant loop is going to become our tails. So I'm just going to fold that in half so we have a perfectly even tail. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut right where I folded that. So now I'm ready to cut my tails just like I did with the last bow. I'm going to fold it in half and cut at a 45-degree angle. And now I'm ready to fluff up my bow and finish it up. All right, and there you have our fluffy bow. So moving right along into our third and final easiest ribbon. I use this one the most with my car freshies, but I've also used this for like small gift wrapping. So I'm cutting a 10 to 12 inch piece of ribbon off here. And I'm just going to use my 2 fingers to make this bow. So I'm going to pinch it between my thumb and my pointer finger there. Make sure that you leave at least 1 inch or 2 past that pointer finger. So I just have a little bit hanging off there. And I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers almost twice. But then I'm going to flip that side over. And I'm going to put it right underneath that bottom piece of the ribbon. And I'm going to pull it all the way behind that second loop back there, as you can see. And we are going to tuck this piece through that first loop. So right where that crease is, we're going to be tucking it right through there. So just sliding it right behind there, and you're going to pull it down. And you might need to kind of twist it to fold it back over, but you're just going to pull tight. And I try to kind of get the tails and the loops to be around the same size, but then you should be able to just slide it right off of your fingers once you are done with that and you've pulled it tight enough. You obviously don't want to pull it so tight that you can't get it off your fingers, but super simple bow. It looks perfect. You could leave your tails flat. You could do the classic tail that I did with the other ones. I'm going to cut these tails just a little bit slanted because that's what I like to do on my freshies or ornaments or gift wrapping, whatever I use these tiny bows on. I typically like to just slant it because it's the easiest to do with this thinner ribbon. If it was a thicker piece of ribbon, I might do that classic tail, but because this ribbon is only 1/2 inch wide, this is the easiest. So there you have it, a perfect tiny little bow to go on your freshies, ornaments, small gift wrapping, or whatever else you could use a little bow for. All right, guys, well, that is where I'm going to leave you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed creating it for you all. If you did like it, please let me know by giving me a big thumbs up. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop a comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys think. And if you're watching this video and you're not already subscribed to my channel, then please consider clicking that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.